So in this video, we're going to talk about organizing your files and data so they are easily accessible. I see many people run into problems because they are not organizing their files and data properly, and it takes them hours to find a single clip. Remember, in this industry especially, time is money, and if you're wasting hours on hours trying to find footage or project files, then you're losing money. So if you want to be able to grow your business, it's very important you store and organize your data properly and effectively. With that being said, let's dive right in. So first things first, you need a data storage device. There's a lot of different storage options out there, like portable SSDs, hard drives, flash storage, and more. But since you're going to be storing a lot of video, which takes up a lot of storage, I highly recommend getting a RAID drive. RAID stands for Redundant Array of Independent Disks. The way a RAID drive works is it combines multiple different hard drives into one overall drive that stores all of your data. RAID drives can be configured to have redundant or backup drives within the array of drives. So basically, if you have 5 hard drives in your RAID setup, you can configure it so one of the drives only serves as a backup to the other 4. Your data is constantly circulating through all 5 drives, so if one drive was to fail, your information would still be safe. You can also configure it so 2 drives, or half of your overall storage, is being used for protection. This reduces the amount of space you can use for storage, but increases the protection on your data. The RAID drive I use and recommend is the Drobo 5D3. I absolutely love it. It has 5 drive bays, is configurable up to 64 terabytes, has Thunderbolt 3 and USB-C connections for fast data read and write speeds. The package I would get is on Amazon, including the base unit and 5 2 terabyte Iron Wolf drives. If you want to just get the base unit, then buy the drives separately. Make sure you buy hard drives that are 3.5-inch SATA drives with a minimal RPM speed of 5900, or else they won't work as well with your Drobo. Once you get your Drobo and drives, simply insert the drives into the Drobo with the label facing up, and the Drobo will start initializing. Then, follow the instructions that came with the drive to download your Drobo software, and you should see your Drobo appear in the dashboard. You can then click on it, see your status, capacity, volumes, tools, and settings. If you go to settings, you can change the name of your Drobo, as well as decide if you want dual drive redundancy, which is, like I said, half of the storage is protection and half of the storage is for storage. You can also select whether you want the drives to spin down when not in use. And finally, you can dim the lights on the drive. Once you're done, just click OK. Then, if you go to Dashboard Preferences, you can set up the auto updates, as well as have your Drobo send you email alerts in the case of any issues with your drives. After this, your Drobo should be set up. Now, just go to your Finder and you should see your Drobo in the side panel. Now let's walk through how I set up my file structure. So if we go into my Drobo, I have almost everything under this 2019 folder. And then I have the projects that I've worked on laid out in chronological order with all the folders starting with numbers to keep them in order. At the top here, I have a template folder with an example of how I keep all of my folders. Inside of it is project files, media, audio, graphics, exports, prelude, and documents. This keeps all of my files super organized and very consistent. So if I was to open a new project, I would come over here and click New Folder, and then I would type 45, Test, and then I would come up to my template project, and I would come here from Project Files down to Documents, and I would copy that and paste it, and boom, now I'm organized. And now I can create my Premiere file and put that in this Premiere Project Files section. I can dump all of my media into the media folder. For audio, I have a folder for audition, music sound effects, and production sound that may have been recorded separately. Then in graphics, I have a folder for After Effects and Photoshop or Illustrator. Exports is where I put my exports that have been delivered. Then I have another folder for exports that have been approved by the client. In Prelude, I can put my Prelude project file if I have one. And Documents is where I put my documents from the client, pre-production documents, and production documents. I also put releases in here as well. This folder structure helps keep me extremely organized so I can find things almost instantly, therefore cutting down on my time spent searching and allowing me to do more valuable things like edit projects or work on new leads. Alright guys, that's it for getting a storage device and organizing your files. As you move along in your career as a freelancer, you will slowly start to build your own file systems, but for now, this is a good system to use to keep everything organized and easily accessible. Like I said before, if you don't stay on top of this, your files can get out of control very quickly, and pretty soon you'll be spending most of your time just trying to find your files before you can even start editing. I've worked with guys who don't stay organized, and I look at their file structures and I want to rip my hair out. So do yourself a favor and just stay organized from the start. And if you have any other questions, let me know.